Good evening, Nick Inman here from VolumeProfileTrader.com on Wednesday, December 28th, and today was a pretty rough day in the market. We talked about last night how some names look toppy. We're at the top of the range. Should look at locking in some profits. Overnight, we went down and tested the 1255 level on the futures. Had a nice bounce off that level. The 1255 level was the point of control for the month of December until it shifted lower today. And you can see this is the profile for December on the right. Now it's at the call it 1247 to 1250 range. And right now we're trading right below those prices. But really the key development was the point of control for in the morning for the last 2 days, both Tuesday and Wednesday, was the point of control was at the very top of the range, and we just had a nasty 1 hour bar selling off from those range, sliced right through 1255, and basically kept going for the day. So this should have been a day where you found yourself basically from the winners that we've been buying. You should have been locking in those profits and making sure that those profits don't come back in your face. So really, you should be sitting on a lot of cash right now, waiting for the market to tell you which way it's going to go. And for right now, I just think that it's at a potential buy point, and the reason why I say that is because we're still above last week's point of control area, which, really from 1226 up to 1236 or so on the S&P futures. That's a major support level. But I see this high volume, small high volume area from last week. We literally traded right in that range today. And it's concerning that we're below the month's point of control. I'm looking at this 1242 level, which is the bottom of this huge high volume area from 1242 to 1260 or so, and looking for that level to hold. What I'm really looking for is to see some kind of point of control shift for the week, for this week, to come down to the lower end of the range and see price start to print above those levels. That would be the most positive development for a buyer's standpoint. So as long as we can stay above this 1242 level and just kind of trade around, similar to what we did, I'm going to show in this range back here, we had a nice point of control at the bottom of the range, and we were looking for some type of trade out of it, and we ended up getting it. So this could be the start of a bigger downtrend, a move back down to the lower 1200s, or we could be consolidating and basically ready to make a higher low relative to, 2 weeks ago, that point of control high volume area, then last week's, and then finally forming some type of higher low point of control in this 1242 to 1250 range, and then finishing the week hopefully positive. So that's my feelings on the S&P and the market are, I hope you took today and yesterday to convert a lot into cash. I said last night that some things look toppy and you don't want to be involved. So I think there are a few names that are still working and names that you should still be long, but I also have a few short candidates that I got short today and looking for more downside. So first I'm going to look at the longs and potential trades to the upside. And first things first, I'm looking at Crosstex Energy, and this is a name that I've traded in the past, and I'm actually going to get a daily chart of this. Okay, so one major development is we're definitely off the highs of the year, so this is definitely, looking like a base builder, and we're really looking for a breakout to the upside to see if it can test up towards 18. And what I like right now, as I'm going to zoom in even more, is we have a higher base forming, within this consolidation range, and we're getting some higher lows, and not really higher highs, but I guess you could say so. And what I'm really looking at is this mini base right here. If you want to scale in and buy a little bit of cross-text energy with the perception that this thing may be going higher, that's fine. And yes, I see that the point of control is below the current price, but I think this is a name that it doesn't look too bad to be a part of, so long as it stays above $16 or so. And so you're risking very little for a move higher up towards 17, hopefully up towards $18 if we can get it up there. So I think this is an opportunity. It's a cheap shot. This is a low volume stock. It traded let's see, not even 100,000 shares today. So you have to be careful, watch your fill. Just a small position, risk 2% on nothing or so, and see if this thing can push towards 18. I think, I like the fact that we have basically a squeeze pattern. So this is a name that, just to keep an eye on. Chipotle. This looks like it's making a multi-month base and looks like it wants to trade higher. We got, this flat top. We have some higher lows. If this thing starts breaking above 350, this thing's off to the races, and we're probably going to go test 400. You can see it's had multiple times where it's consolidated for multiple months and then has made a nice move higher. So just keep your eye on this and allow this thing to work for you. If you're already long, great. Sorry I didn't catch these at lower levels, but unfortunately that's part of trading. You can't get it all. If you're looking for a name that's outperforming, though, this is one of them. Let's see, not Cellcom Israel, Celgene. This is a name that we've been long. This has been a nice trade. We got it up to 68. That was our profit target, and today we traded off of those highs today. So watch out if you're long this name. Make sure you lock in profits and ring the register, because this thing could come back down to 65 or so if the market stays weak. Oracle. I just think this is a name that you should keep on your radar, because the month point of control at 25 or so, we've come back and tested those levels. You may get a cheap shot here, and maybe basically we had not a nice bounce, but we had a bounce off of the lows, and then a little bit of a retracement back to test the point of control level from last week, the monthly point of control. And I think this is a cheap shot, and you could have a stop under $25. That's 2% risk, and really I would look for a move basically up towards 27 or 28 where you'd want to take your profits. But I think that's an opportunity. Alright, Apple. This is, I'm going to get rid of these trend lines, so bear with me 1 second. Okay, Apple it's breaking down from this 408 level that Apple's continued to have trouble with. You can see we've had resistance here many times, and we're back at those levels. The week's point of control is up at those levels, so you got a lot of stuck traders up there, and they were puking their position today, along with the people who bought and basically have enjoyed the ride higher. They're locking in profits while they can. This thing looks like it's going to come back to test 400, and you can see there's barely any volume here in December, but down towards 400, sub 400, there should be pretty good support. So keep an Apple on your radar. We're at 402, so we're less than 1% there, and it looks pretty good. Now Freeport, this was a name that I actually initiated a short on today, and what I did was I went out to February and I bought some out of the money puts, and they're slightly in the money now. But what I'm really looking for is, I see this monthly December chart, and I'm actually going to bring it up on this chart. we're breaking down from the monthly December point of control. We've made a lower high, which is a little bit concerning, and it looks like this thing wants to go back down to test $35 or so, which isn't too bad of a move. And I think it's a name that, it underperformed to the upside, and now it looks like it's going to outperform to the downside, down 4% today. So Freeport, I'm short that name. The Banks XLF ETF, this is a little mixed signals, but really this 13-15 level, it's the monthly composite for the last 4 months, the last 90 days really, and we're trading off of those levels. Although the financials were beaten up today, I see it coming down to a potential buying opportunity just like the rest of the market. So as much as I want to say that I'm not liking the banks, really, what I can say is it's an inside month relative to last month, November. So really we have this kind of triangle pattern forming, and we're looking for a resolution one way or the other. You can see that this huge high volume here from December, it's going to be very important, and if we can't hold those levels and start breaking below, I think you look for the market to sell off a lot more. So, and last one I'm going to look at is Whole Foods, which it's starting to poke its head out from this December point of control. We haven't broken above the December highs yet, but it is too having an inside month relative to November, and that's something to be aware of. But so long as I think Whole Foods can stay above this $68 level, this is a name that maybe you want to be involved in. It performed well relative to the market today, almost up 1%. So if the market can stabilize, this thing should have no problem continuing higher. So unfortunately, that's really it. The market, you look for this 1242 level to hold or so, and see if we can reclaim the point of control for the month, the buyers. If not, then you look to sell this market into strength, and that's fine too. You can make money either way on this market. Just be aware that if you weren't selling and taking profits today from your longs, then unfortunately, you're kind of out of sync with the market. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you tomorrow.